What is going on, everyone? Badger here. Should have liked and sub, and let's get into this. For the longest time, J.K. Rowling was absolutely beloved by everyone. And then mental illness was injected in our society by some nefarious people for very specific reasons. And we got into make believe land where men could become girls and girls could become men. And the few sane people who kept their heads and said, no, no, that's not how that works. Women still exist. They got absolutely eviscerated or shunned or quieted unless you were strong enough, brave enough, or, had enough money to shield yourself and you were able to speak out. And J.K. Rowling had all of those things. So brave enough, true enough, all those fun things. She could have been Snow White. Either way, she's taken some heat from it. A lot of the actors whose careers she made, including Emma Watson, rather, and Daniel Radcliffe, and all of them have all spoken out against her simply because she believes that women exist and should be protected. And thankfully, sanity has returned. And many countries, including now the UK, have acknowledged it. So this is what set off many of the actors, including Paapa Essiedu, who's Black Snape, from signing this sort of "we reject this" letter. And so the article that they're rejecting is this. So in the middle of April, the UK Supreme Court ruled in favor of For Women Scotland, declaring the definition of sex in the EA 2010 makes clear that the concept of sex is binary. A person is either a woman or a man. Persons who share that protected characteristics for the purpose of the group-based rights and the protections are persons of the same sex, and provisions that refer to protection for women necessarily exclude men, i.e., you can't play the same sports when physical elements are involved. You can't go into the bathroom with them. Sorry. Although the word biological does not appear in this definition, the ordinary meaning of those plain and unambiguous words corresponds with the biological characteristics that make an individual a man or a woman. These are assumed to be self-explanatory. Of course, you have to, some people, and to require no further explanation. Men and women are on the face of the definition, only differentiated as a grouping by the biology they share with their group. So that right there set all those actors that we talked about, of course, Bella Ramsey from Last of Us, into tailspins. And I'm not going to read their entire letter, but I'll read some of the more salient points here, where it says, we understand, we the undersigned film and television professionals stand in solidarity with the trans, non-binary, and intersex communities who have been impacted by the Supreme Court ruling on April 17th. We wish to add our voices to the 2,000 plus signatories of the open letter from UK writers to the trans community published last week and call upon members of our industry and cultural bodies to join us. The UK film and television industry is at the forefront of cultural change. In recent years, we have come together in response to the Me Too and Black. Yeah, we've tried to socially engineer you through fear and our influence that is getting less and less every day, and it's not working anymore. And now we're really fucking panicking. We must now urgently work to ensure that our trans, non-binary, and intersex colleagues, collaborators, and audiences are protected from discrimination and harassment. Yeah, here's the protection and discrimination, or here's what's going to happen. You're not allowed to transition to a woman and then go into prison and rape them and get them pregnant. You're not allowed to transition to a woman and then beat all of their fucking scores because you couldn't cut it among actual men. And so, yeah, that's not going to happen anymore. And you're not going to fucking pump a bunch of estrogen into yourself and cut your dick off and then take all the roles that could have gone to an actual fucking woman. Yes, sanity has returned. Yes, I'm a bigot. Yeah, there you go. I'm very bigoted about biological reality. I'm also bigoted that space is real and the planet's not flat. I'm just unthinking, and I won't change my mind on it. We heard first before JK responded herself that this is a source from the Daily Mail saying, I don't think they would want that, his sacking optically. This is Paapa Essiedu, Black Snape Moan, signing this and then saying that like, optically it wouldn't look good to fire him. Again, saying if he chooses to leave the cast, then that's his personal decision, but it's a job on a huge show. But as we pointed out, it is a job on a huge show that is going to get all the ire. He knew what he was doing when he said yes to being cast as Black Snape, when everyone knows Snape is white, pallid, sallow, yellow skin, greasy hair. He signed on to play a greasy-haired character. I guess just incidental that Snape does in fact like purple potions and fried chicken when the house elves make it. I'm something of a house elf myself. Here's J.K. Rowling responding specifically to Paapa Essiedu signing. I don't have the power to sack, which means fired if you're anywhere else in England. I don't have the power to sack an actor from the series, and I wouldn't exercise it if I did. I don't believe in taking away people's jobs, Hygiena, or livelihoods, Hygiena, because they hold legally protected beliefs that differ from mine. She's not an American, but that's a very American free speech viewpoint, and I respect it. She also gave a response to those people. What do you mean those people? Those people signing that response later, including Paapa Essiedu. So I'll again just read some of the more important parts here. In light of recent open letters from academia and the arts criticizing the UK's Supreme Court ruling on sex-based rights, it's possibly worth remembering that nobody sane believes or has ever believed that humans can change sex or that binary sex isn't a material fact. These letters do nothing but remind us of what we know only too well, that pretending to believe these things has become an elitist badge of virtue. But basically just going to call them out. They don't know what they're saying. They don't actually believe it. They're only saying it because they think it will protect them. That's what this is, where someone says, I don't think any of this is motivated by fear necessarily. I think people just weigh it up as which side benefits them the most. JK responding, there's definitely self-interest at work, but the fear is real, and we've seen it. I've heard the whispered confessions of heresy and the panic of those who feel they're in too deep to recant. The bloodlust is also real. And JK says, oh, no doubt. Yes, JK's been her and her family's attempted to be doxxed and calls for her death. Same thing with Gina, calls for their death. It's almost like that group is a bunch of fucking nutters who then go even more crazy when they start injecting a bunch of hormones and cutting off their bodies. So, holy hell. Let me know what you think about all this. Do you think Paapa Essiedu, do you think he should just quit? Why are you working with such a horrible, bigoted transphobe, Paapa? Or maybe he thinks he's owning the chuds. I don't know. All he's going to do is guarantee that no matter how good Harry Potter is, most people are going to check out because you said you were going to do an accurate adaptation. What about Black Snape, Joan? What about Black Snape? Anyway, let me know what you think about all this. Be sure to like, share, and sub. If you have done that, thank you. If you're going to do that, thank you. And
well, bye.